In this video, I'd like to share with you how to brace correctly, what it feels like in a simple way that a beginner or an advanced person can understand it, because we all know that we should be bracing a little bit more because it does a couple things. Number one, it helps us become more accurate. Number two, it helps us become more powerful. Number three, it helps us prevent injuries. I'm going to share with you how to brace in this Seekr video. Coming up.
I'm a level up 18, going hard till my body starts aching. Leave you in the rear view, it's cause you're pacing. I'm coming in like a full power freight train. Seekr Disc Golf, level up.
In multiple different sports, we brace, whether it be football, soccer, lacrosse, or baseball. We brace in different ways. And when we talk about brace, we're simply meaning whenever your body comes to a halting stop and the energy propels typically up through the legs, through the hips, the core, shoulders, and then arm. So you're throwing a baseball. That's what I used to play, competitive baseball. And so when you stop, whether you're throwing it to first base or all the way home from outfield, you do a big crow hop or X step, everything's stopping and halting with the leg, and energy is being transferred all the way up until it's released at some certain point. Same with soccer. As you come through, there's a brace, there's something that's stopping you, and you'll see energy transfer to some. Now, I'm not so good at soccer, but that's what it looks like. First, we need to understand what does correct bracing feel like for the most part. And for this, I want you to get an athletic stance. Make sure your front leg is out in front of your back leg, and get into some athletic posture, right? Bend your knees a little bit, get loose, go back and forth. And to feel what the brace feels like, at least for the first part of it, I want you to stop. Propel your weight forward to your front leg. Stop. And make sure, again, your legs are spaced out, right? And as you do this, as you kind of stop and go back and forth, you'll start to feel pressure coming down on your thigh, even your hip and your buttocks, and then your knee. I feel it on the left-hand side of my knee. That's the right for you. And of course, you'll feel it on your foot, but you'll really start to feel it. And as you can jump a little bit more, as long as it doesn't hurt you, start to do this back and forth. And you'll start to feel what it's like to stop and brace. And you'll get, this is an exercise, this is a workout too, as I go back and forth here. So that's what it feels like, the first part of the brace. And make sure you're actually kicking up some dirt with your back leg, right? You don't want to drag, right? A lot of times, disc golfers, we have this dragging problem as we come through. So this will help with that too. Kick it up and kind of plant. And make sure you're planting with your leg facing the same way your chest is. Right straight in front of me. My shoulders are to the right here, facing my target, right? Back and forth. That feels good. So that's the first part. That's what it feels like. So what happens with the second part of the brace? A couple things. One is whenever you come down with your leg and your foot, make sure it's on the ball of your foot with your toes, not your heel, and not planted like just flat, everything all at once, right? You want to come up with your toes, ball of your foot, and then let everything kind of lay down, right? You watch the pros, you see that all the time. Everything just kind of lays down. And then once that happens, the energy is transferred. And as you rotate, use your hips, use your core, everything almost pops up. And there's two things that happen. One, you rotate on your heel. And two, you have still an athletic stance with your leg here. You don't want it to be straight, because that will definitely hurt you long term. But you don't want it like this either. You want it somewhere in between as you rotate and follow through, right? So it's like that. And you'll really start to feel it in your knee and your thigh. You'll feel it a lot from the horizontal, right? Horizontal pressure coming in. And as you rotate, you'll start to see it transfer into your knee as you rotate around. So to be able to do this, get in your athletic stance and simply do your throw. And make sure you focus here on rotating the ball of your heel. But even before that, make sure you focus on coming down with your ball of your foot and your toes first. And then you rotate. So it's toes, ball of the foot, heel. Come down and just do something simple. Do something slow, not fast, right? Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about your reach back. We're just trying to say, what does this bracing thing feel like? And so if you want to, take a disc, if you have an indoor facility like myself, or go out to a field and just properly work on standstills. Don't worry about any X steps right now, especially if you're relearning. You want to take this nice and slow. So get to your standstill, get your disc, and then incorporate it all together. And just do that standstill. So literally just add a disc, right? We've already practiced doing it without a disc. Make sure we're coming down with the toes, ball of our foot, heels, and we're focusing on spinning around with our heel, right? Just add a disc. And there we go. Now, you can simply incorporate this into the X step because you're gonna hit this here, and then guess what? You're back to the standstill position, right? You just add your little crossover and boom, you're to that standstill position. And then it's just muscle memory at this point. Well, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel. Head to Seekr Disc Golf, Seekr, S-E-E-K-R, discgolf.com to sign up for our training program, 60, 90, 120 days to get you insanely good at disc golf. We'd love to have you join the community. Thanks so much.
Fresh.